Dynasties and highlights of their rule. In this essay, we take a look at the rules of the various dynasties and the highlights of their rule. We will begin with the most famous one, that is the Vijayanagara kingdom. The Vijayanagara kingdom was founded by the Sangama brothers, that is Harihara, Bukka, Kampana, Muddappa and Marappa. Harihara of the Sangama dynasty founded the kingdom in 1336 and secured control over the northern parts of Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh. After the death of Ballala III and his son Virupaksha Ballala in 1346, the whole of the Hoysala dominion came under his control. His brother Bukka succeeded in destroying the Madurai Sultanate. He sponsored the writings of the monumental commentary on the Vedas, which are the Vedartha Prakasha, called as the Vedartha Prakasha, by engaging several scholars working under the celebrated scholars such as Sayana and Madhava. Harihara II extended his dominion in Konkan beyond Goa up to Chaul. In the east, he conquered Pangal to the north of the Krishna. Efforts made by Firoz Shah Bahamani to conquer this fort were foiled by Devaraya II, who was the greatest of the Sangamas, and who defeated the Bahamanis when he was a crown prince, and which resulted in the shifting of the Bahamani capital to Bidar in 1426. He defeated the Gajapatis of Orissa twice and foiled the efforts of the Bahamanis to wrest Mudgal. One of his commanders even invaded Ceylon and extracted tribute, and the princes of Pegu and Tenasserim in Burma also owed him allegiance. He highly patronized the Veerashaivas. The Hazara Rama temple at Hampi is his creation. Abdul Razak, the Persian traveller who visited his court, said the capital that nothing in the world could equal it. He patronized Gunda Dindima, a Sanskrit poet, and Srinatha, who was a Telugu poet. The Hampi inscription of Davaraya II of 1420 extols the good qualities of his famous commander Lakshmidhara poetically in glorious terms. The weak and vicious kings who followed Devaraya II in the Sangama dynasty would have caused the dismemberment of the empire, had not Saluva Narasimha, an able commander, assumed power in 1485. It paved way for the rule of the Saluva dynasty for a short while. During this period, the Portuguese navigator Vasco da Gama landed on the western coast at Calicut in 1498 and thus opened a new vista for foreign rule. Tuluva Veera Narasimha was succeeded by the Tuluva Krishna Deva Raya, a great warrior, scholar and administrator of the Tuluva dynasty. He secured Raichur Doab in 1512 and later marched victorious into the capitals of his enemies like Bidar in 1512, Bijapur in 1523 and in the east in Cuttack in 1580, which was the capital of the Gajapatis. He visited Tirupati frequently and made lavish grants to Lord Venkatesha. As a token, the bronze statues of Raya with his two queens is seen even today at Tirumalai. A great ruler and a man of great justice, Krishnadeva Raya was a man of letters and a great patron of scholars. He himself wrote a Telugu work known as Amukta Malyada. He had 8 great Telugu poets called Ashta Diggajas in his court, and among them were Allasini Peddanna. Raya built the Krishna Swami temple in the capital. During this time, the Portuguese conquered Goa from the Bijapur rulers in 1510 and had a flourishing trade with Vijayanagara. The Portuguese rule in Goa introduced new floras like groundnut, chili, tobacco and printing technology. During the rule of Sadashiva Raya, the 4 Shahi Sultans attacked the empire, and after killing Aravidu Ramaraya, who was the Vijayanagar minister and Krishnadeva Raya's son-in-law, at Rakasa Tangadi in 1565, they destroyed the capital of Vijayanagara. Later, his brothers Tirumala Raya and Venkatapati Raya shifted the capital first to Penugonda, and later Chandragiri and later Vellore became the subsequent capitals of the late Vijayanagara rulers. The Tuluva rule was set aside by the Aravidu dynasty. Sri Rangaraya III, who was the last ruler, was given shelter by the Keladi rulers till his demise in 1670. During the Vijayanagara Empire, local rulers like the Ajalas, Chauta, Banga, Mula, Hegde, Ballala, Domba and other small principalities ruled almost independently in the coastal region of Karnataka. Venur, Modabidre and Karkal prospered as important Jaina centers during this period. Vijayanagara rulers patronized all religions. The Portuguese traveller Barbosa testifies to this Catholic outlook of the emperors. Every existing temple was provided with a strong enclosure, a lofty tower at the entrance, and vast mandapas. Literary activity in all South Indian languages was encouraged. The Vijayanagara Empire played a great role in conserving local religion and cultural traditions. Madhava, that is Vidyaranya, wrote the Sarva Darshana Sangraha, introducing all religions of Indian origin. His Parashara Madhaviya is a commentary Parashara Smriti, which is a work on Hindu life and law. And Parashara Madhaviya has clearly stated that the sati, which is suicide by a widow, is Kali Varja and to be totally abhorred in Kali Yuga. The emperors built fine temples of all denominations and renovated many temples destroyed prior to their rules. All existing temples were provided with huge prakaras or enclosures and tall impressive entrance towers called as Raya Gopuras found at Hampi, Sri Shailam, Kalahasti, Tirupati, Srirangam, Chidambaram, Kanchi, etc. Kannada, Tamil and Telugu literature flourished during this time. Karnataka music came to blossom by the works of Vidyaranya, Kallinatha, Ramana Matya, Purandaradasa and Kanakadasa. Purandaradasa did a lot to popularize it by composing primary compositions to teach this music, and he has been rightly called as the father of Karnataka music by Saint Tyagaraja. Foreign merchants and travelers like Niccolo Conti, Abdul Razak, Barbosa, Pace, Nunes and Caesar Frederick, who visited the empire, gave a vivid account on the flourishing condition that prevailed in the empire in general and the capital city of Vijayanagara in particular. The Bahamani Kingdom. The Bahamani Sultans are remembered for the great contribution they made in the field of Indo-Saracenic art in the south. Gulbarga in 1347, the Bahamani Kingdom clashed with the Vijayanagara all throughout its history. Muhammad Bahaman Shah built the famous Jamia Masjid at Gulbarga Fort in 1367. It is a huge monument of enduring beauty. Domes, vaultings and arches of mortar were introduced by them in their buildings of Karnataka. Firoz Shah, a great sultan and the grandson of the founder, extended the kingdom in the east by capturing the Raja Mahendri from the Reddis. He took pleasure in the society of learned men and patronized Surhindi, a scholar, and Hasan Gilani, an astronomer. He erected the observatory at Daulatabad. Ahmad, who was a successor of Firoz, shifted his capital to Bidar, where fine palaces came to be raised in course of time. The Solla Camp Mosque is a fine creation of his time. He was highly devoted to the Sufi saint Bande Nawaz. The prince himself was called Wali or saint, and his tomb at Ashtur near Bidar is highly venerated. Another great member in Bahamani history is Mahmud Gawan, a great minister who was born in Persia in 1411. On his visit to Bidar in 1445, he was given an important position as the chief administrator of the kingdom from 1461 till his death in 1481. He administered the territory during the minority of two sultans and extended it in the south up to Hubli, in the west up to Goa and the Konkan coast, and in the east up to Kondavidu and Raja Mahendri. He founded a college at Bidar and provided it with a library from his own personal income. The college building, that is Madrasa, which is now in ruins, was once a fine structure. Gawan fell a victim to court intrigues and was ordered to be executed by Sultan Muhammad, whom Gawan had educated and brought up himself. With him vanished the glory of the kingdom, and soon it broke up into 5 Shahi kingdoms of the Deccan. The fine Indo-Saracenic buildings like the Bande Nawaz Dargah, Jamia Masjid, Saad Kumbas, etc. at Gulbarga, Gawan's Madrasa at Bidar, and his dome at Ashtur are the important contributions of this Sultanate. The Adil Shahis of Bijapur. The Adil Shahis of Bijapur was founded in 1489 by Yusuf Adil Khan, a commander and governor under the Bahamanis, and ruled over the greater part of Karnataka. Yusuf has been called a powerful and prosperous king by Varthema, the Italian visitor. Yusuf's son Ismail was recognized as a ruler by the Shah of Iran, and he sent an embassy to Bijapur. Ismail's grandson Ali was in friendly terms with Ramaraya of Vijayanagara, who had adopted Ali as his son. But the other Shahi sultans forced Ali to join the confederacy against the Vijayanagara Empire, whose army was defeated in 1565. The Jami Mosque at Bijapur with a wonderful design was raised by him. Ibrahim II, who was Ali's nephew, is the greatest Adil Shahi king. He captured and merged the Barid Shahi kingdom of Bidar in 1619. He was a tolerant ruler and was nicknamed Jagadguru. He built the temple of Narasimha Saraswati or Dattatreya in the citadel of his fort. A lover of Hindu music, he had 300 singers in Muhammad. A lover of Hindu music, he had 300 singers in his court. Later, Muhammad extended the kingdom in the south up to Bangalore and in the southeast up to Vellore. He built the magnificent Gol Gumbaz at Bijapur. He was succeeded by Ali II, and during Sikandar Adil Shah, that the Adil Shah kingdom was annexed by Aurangzeb in 1686. Adil Shahi buildings at Bijapur like Asar Mahal and Ibrahim Rauza have paintings. Ragmala paintings and personal portraits of members of the royal family, including Chand Bibi, are preserved in the Bijapur Museum. Some of the Bijapur rulers were Shias, and the celebration of Muharram by installing tabuts became common in Karnataka. A form of Urdu called Deccani Hindi was developed in their court. In the meantime, the Mughals extended their territory to the south and conquered Bangalore in 1686. It was obtained by Chikkadevaraya of Mysore by paying a huge amount to Mughals. They made Sira in Karnataka and Arcot in Tamil Nadu as their important administrative centers. The Nawabs of Savanur, Sira and Advani administered the Kannada territories under the Mughals, and some Kannada districts were also administered by the Nizam of Golconda. Keladi Kingdom. The Keladi Nayakas, who were the feudatories of Vijayanagara, became practically free in the days of Venkatappa Nayaka I, who merged the coastal territories like Jersoppa into his kingdom. Shivappa Nayaka, a great soldier and statesman, ousted the Portuguese of their possessions on the west coast, namely Mangalore, Honnavur and Basurur. He reformed the land revenue system and it is renowned as Sistu. Keladi enjoyed a rich overseas trade, especially in spices, textiles and rice. Their capitals, Keladi, Ikkeri and Nagara, are in the Shimoga district. His daughter-in-law, Chennamma, is renowned for her valor, and she gave shelter to the Maratha prince, Chhatrapati Rajaram, who was the son of Shivaji and braved Aurangzeb's army. Her successor, Basavappa, wrote the Shiva Tattva Ratnakara, a Sanskrit encyclopedia. They have raised fine temples at Keladi, Ikkeri and Nagar, which was a wonderful hill fort at Kavale Durga. Keladi was captured by Hyder Ali in 1763 and the kingdom was merged with Mysore. Kempegoda I of Magadi rulers family, also called as Yalahanka Nada Prabhus, raised the fort and the new city of Bangalore in 1537, and later they shifted the capital to Magadi, where they ruled up to 1728. The Chitradurga Nayakas raised the magnificent hill fort at Chitradurga and continued to rule till their extension by Hyder Ali in 1779. The Marathas who were encroaching upon the Bijapur dominion came to have control over parts of Karnataka to the north of the Tungabhadra. Shivaji built forts at Ramadurga, Nargund, Parasgad, Gajendragad, Katkol, etc. in North Karnataka. In the south, they had their Bangalore Jagir, administered first by Shahaji and later by his son Ekoji. The Mysore royal family secured Bangalore and its surroundings from the Mughals in 1689 on lease. The Mughals had conquered these areas in 1686 from the Maratha ruler Ekoji, who was a feudatory of Bijapur. Later, the Marathas had secured the right of collecting Chaut and Sardesh Mukhi as part of the dues to the Mughals from the southern feudatories in the days of Chhatrapati Shahu, who was Shivaji's grandson from the Mughal emperor in 1719. Peshwa Balaji Rao had conquered Dharwad in 1753, then later Hyder and Tipu wrested Dharwad area from the Marathas. The Dharwad area was restored to the Marathas in 1799, in 1791 and finally lost it after the fall of the Peshwas in 1818 to the British.